Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes. On the Homecoming servers, the particular server we're using is still Everlasting, the unofficial roleplay server. We're level 16, 66,000 experience gained so far, and we have 852,000 influence, along with a couple of extra costumes that we've gotten now. And this is our main character, Silver Phoenix. She's a martial arts super reflex scrapper. So here we are in the Everlasting server. A couple things have happened today. This is May 7th. And the server is now taking, the server cluster of the Homecoming group that's running these servers is now taking donations. There's been a whole lot of controversy about that because about a week ago they made a post saying nobody should be taking donations for this, it's illegal, and so on and so forth, and we're never going to ask for any money. And now they're asking for money to run the servers, so I don't know what's going to come of that. They haven't really set anything up yet. They just said that it's coming. In any case, I'm still in my supergroup, the United. You can see there's a bunch of people on in Talos Island, Pocket D, and so forth. And I'm getting ready to do some more missions. We have one, which is to free students from the clockwork, and that is on King's Row. I'm going to just say hello to the people in my supergroup. Hello, everyone. So they know I'm on, and then I'm going to head to King's Row. And King's Row 2. So yeah, if the group decides to do something tonight, I'll try to participate. Tomorrow night is supposed to be a roleplay event in Callisti Wharf, and I will definitely go for that, so that I can meet a bunch of the other people in person that have never met me as Silver Phoenix. And I mean, I've met most of them like out of character on the Discord. Whoa, that was a rubber band. Alright, so I've met most of them out of character on the Discord, but my character hasn't met them in character yet. So other than the first 8 that were part of that mission with me a couple of episodes back. So here we are. We're heading over to the Garment Works, which is a really fun place. I'm kind of bummed that I never actually got any real missions to come over here. I sort of remember the first time I played my martial arts super reflex scrapper, I was over here all the time doing missions. And of course you had to do a lot more missions back then to level up because the experience gain was set a totally different way. Speaking of that, let's check. We're not gaining XP, so the first mission will be no XP, the next mission will be XP. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fight Clockwork, so that means we're going to probably be running out of endurance once again. But that's okay. Once we hit level 17, we can afford some DOs, and I'm going to get some endurance reducers. We have so much influence now that we don't have to husband it the way I was planning to do. And now we got some even level Clockworks right here. So we'll start with this. I do want to say a few things. If you've been watching, I've been paying attention as I've rewatched some of what I've done. I'm not always being optimal with hitting things. You may notice, for example, I'm kicking and punching and something's got a tiny little sliver of health left, and I could hit several things and I hit something like Cobra Strike. It's like, well, why don't you just hit Thunder Kick or wait for Thunder Kick to recharge? You're sort of doing so much more damage than you need to do. Well, some of that is just I kind of don't care, but a lot of that is that I'm used to playing a higher level scrapper, because I played a martial arts super reflex scrapper for almost a year, and it was level 43 when I stopped, and then I played that same character to level 50 about 6 months later for another, I don't know, several months. Most of the time that I played that character was high level. And so after, I don't know, 2 months of gameplay, 3 months maybe, I got her into the high levels, and then I kind of never looked back. And as a consequence, I'm used to playing a character that has stamina fully slotted. I'm used to playing a character that has endurance reducers and single origin enhancers. And so some of it is just that I'm, just used to being a little more, basically just being able to do whatever I want, right, without running out of endurance, because that's kind of the way that original character was. And so some of it's just me getting used to the sort of the pace and the need for efficiency in a low-level character. Some of it, as I say, is that I just don't care that much. It's not that hard to just take a knee when you run out of endurance. And some of it is that I'm, distracted and talking and telling stories about, old missions I used to play or what the game was like at launch, and so I'm just clicking whatever power is available and not really thinking about how much health the other guy has. I'm definitely less efficient talking to people, narrating, as it were, than I would normally be just silently. And consequently, I'm probably not going to do too much videoing of large group missions like I did with the 8-man team. Mostly because I don't want to get people killed because I'm chit-chatting away on recording the video instead of paying attention to what the heck is going on. Okay, we took care of that. But before we go through the door, I think there's another whole section over here too. Oh no. Okay, so we're just going down this way. I thought there was more to that. Another thing I do want to talk about is, in terms of the build and what I'm doing with the build, and in terms of kind of how I'm going to enhance the powers, which powers I'm taking, which pool powers I'm taking, and so forth. This build is designed to be fun to play, designed to be something I'm going to enjoy, and designed to be serviceable in the sense that, as you've seen, I've been able to arrange it in terms of the build and my gameplay, that even though I've screwed up a bunch of times, and even though I'm rusty, and even though I'm thinking like a high-level scrapper when I'm playing a low-level scrapper and making a lot of mistakes that way, even though I'm doing all those things, we're level 16, and our character has never died. Not once have we gone to the hospital, not once have we needed an awaken, not once has anyone had to res us. And, like, to me, that's kind of all you can ask from a build, is that you can do your missions. Now, I'm sure there are people who want to do other things with their builds, like PvP, or doing sort of high-level endgame content. I'm not really into that. So I don't care if it's a good PvP build. I don't care if it's, the way I play by clicking on the buttons with the mouse is not optimal. To me, optimal play is just I can have fun and play my missions and go through my story arcs and go through the sort of the storyline of the game. As long as I can do that, I'm pretty much happy with my build. And so I'm not going to be trying to find the most amazing sort of invention sets that have all these perfect optimal ways of stacking things so that I can get plus 0.00001% extra juice out of every punch, so that over the long term, over 1 million punches, I'll do an extra 2 damage. That's just not what it's just not the way I play. I'm playing the game to experience it, not to crush it, and I want to have fun with the character. So, for example, I'm sure a lot of people would say, oh, you have to take boxing, tough, and weave with a character like this so you can get the resistance from tough and the extra defense bonus from weave. It's not my experience. You need that. Not when you're just talking about soloing missions or just being on a group of friends and having fun. I've had people say, now not recently, but back in the day when I said these things or typed these things on the official forum, well, you're never going to be in a group with me because you're inefficient. And I'm like, well, you can say that, but my experience being on groups, both with friends and even with pickup groups, was my character was always the last to die. My character was always doing, pretty massive damage. And my groups rarely wiped. And we usually succeeded in our missions and got lots of XP. So I'm not sure what the problem is. Now, am I going to level as fast as some other builds? No. But guess what? I'm already trying not to level fast and purposely turning off the experience gain. So, like, why would I try to make a build that's, like, faster at farming XP when I'm turning it off on purpose in the first place? Right? Why am I turning it off? I'm turning it off so that I can experience the game as maximally as I can. I want to experience all the story arcs, all the content, and particularly have a vanilla experience. This is what I want out of the game. So I'm not really interested in optimizing my build so that I can level faster than anyone else, and I'm not trying to be the first to level 50. I would not want to be level 50 after 2 weeks in the game again, which is, I don't know, has it even been 2 weeks? Week and a half? I'm getting a lot of server lag here. Ouch. Yes, a lot of server lag. Yeah, so a week and a half into the game, do I want to be level 50? I don't want to be close. Like I said, it took almost a year for me to become level 50 the first time, and that's a year of just total playtime, not counting the parts of the time where I canceled my subscription because I got tired of the game, and I was interested in other games. You know, it took me like a year of play. I don't necessarily want it to maybe take a year, but I don't mind if it takes me 3 or 4 months or even longer. I want to enjoy the entire game. So I don't know if that's sounding defensive. Maybe it is. Being defensive against what? Nobody, because I haven't even posted these videos yet. But I've heard all of the comments and the complaints before when you're not doing the sort of accepted optimum build that you get from using the offline like build calculators, and if you don't do that somehow, it's like you're playing the game wrong. There's no way to play the game wrong. There really isn't. And you know, I've seen somebody who built a character. They took their first level 1 through 4 powers, and then they just went crazy with pool powers. And I think the name was the Pool Boy, and it was just somebody who had all these pool powers, and it was just fun to play. And he didn't get the team wiped, and he didn't screw anything up. So who cares if he wants to play that way? Now I wouldn't want to, but that's his choice. So anyway, I know what the numbers are. I know sort of what it would take to have an optimal build, but again, what I want to do is just play Martial Arts Super Reflex. I'm not interested in getting boxing at this point. I'm not interested in doing any other kinds of shenanigans to try and sort of quote-unquote optimize my build. And I'm also not going to optimize like exactly which kicks and punches and other things I do to get to like bring the clockwork to exactly 0, right? And so like, oh, we got to use Brawl here or something, because it gets to do exactly 0 and you're not wasting, sort of overkilling it. But like, who cares? You know, and that's my feeling. Now I know there are people who do care a lot about that kind of optimization, but if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to get it from watching me. But you will get a lot of information about what the game used to be like, and you will see how one can play a Super Reflex Scrapper without, you know, having to do all that optimization by just using common sense and building what is reasonable without going crazy, and you know, without trying to like over theory craft the game. I mean, theory crafting is fun. Knowing how it works is fun, but you know, I don't need to squeeze every last ounce of efficiency out of my characters. As long as I can succeed at my missions, I'm pretty happy. And as I say, we haven't died yet, so I think that that's all I can ask from my character. Who's this? Anyone want to do missions? I'm sick of being not level 30. So I think I may join. Let's see. SG. I am free to join up. I will just turn off the XP gain. Yeah, because I don't want to gain too much XP with this character, and I certainly don't want to gain XP when I'm not doing my arcs. I mean, that's another thing. If you're trying to watch somebody power level, I'm not your guy. Okay, so we're done with this mission. I'm going to need to get out of it because I'm about to get a group invite. I don't know if they're going to invite me or not. I think they might. Yeah, just ended. Alright, so I'm probably going to get a group invite. I'm going to sell these enhancements. Back to Super Jump. Where am I going? Wrong way. Okay. So hopefully they'll re-invite me. Because apparently they tried to invite me and saw that I was on a mission. Oh yeah, I always love doing that. Jumping on that little platform there to keep the height. As I always say, it's all about the height. I am getting some server lag. And I accept. And I accept. So now this is going to sidekick me up. And that's not what I want. I want this guy. And sell. Alright, so guys, I think I'm going to end this here, and I will do the mission offline. Since I'm not going to gain experience, we won't be changing any of our leveling or anything like that, and I'll be back when I'm not in a team. I know it might be fun to watch teams, but I really don't want to be distracted by narrating while I'm on a team of 7 or 8.